I get this like weird thing, right? Where I have this stack of hard drives right next to me, empty boxes. I've shucked all of these drives and put them in Zeus, and soon to be into Loki, which I'll talk a little bit more about here in a second. But I kind of want to throw these away because it's trash and I don't need the boxes for anything. But also, it's a huge stack of hard drive pride going on right here. And, I kind of feel weird throwing it away. So, I don't know. Sound off in the comments below and tell me what you think I should do. Plex is awesome and everything, but if you really want to squeeze the most features out of your Plex media server, you can get a Plex Pass. Now, while there are many benefits to having a Plex Pass versus a free user account, my favorite one is getting early access to new features that Plex has not yet released to the general public. So if you're like me and you want to try out those new features, check out the description down below. Down there, you can either purchase a Plex Pass for yourself or a friend, and hey, if you don't have a free account, use my link as well. It helps me out. So check out the description down below to get your Plex Pass today. What's up, YouTube? Jason here with Jason Bytes Back, episode number 30. Is that a weird thing to not want to throw away a stack of boxes that are related to hard drive shucking? Western Digital just had a sale, and they didn't have a sale for a long time, on the 10 terabyte Elements Easy Store or whatever. So they just had a sale, and I really took advantage of it, probably more than I should. But now I'm up to 204 terabytes in my server with one lonely little 4 terabyte drive left that needs replaced. And then all of them will be either 8 or 10 terabytes. So I'm probably gonna wait till the next sale, probably be, like Thanksgiving, Black Friday-ish time when they have their new sales again. So I really think we're on the cusp of 12 terabyte external drives, shuckable drives, mind you, that should be on sale and relatively cheap. Kind of like the 10 terabytes are now. For those of you who don't know, if you don't follow me on Twitter, usually Best Buy, Amazon, Newegg, they usually run sales on 10 terabyte external USB drives that you can easily shuck. And by shuck, I mean take the hard drive out of the external case and stick them in your server with ease, relative ease. And for something like a 10 terabyte drive, you pay $160 with them on sale versus, what is it, like 300, 260 something? I don't know. I haven't paid full price for a hard drive in a long time. So whatever they are, it's definitely a whole lot cheaper to shuck an external drive. Those sales don't happen very often, but if you're interested in following me on Twitter @_Byte My Bits, then I usually post those shucking sales whenever I either see them or they're sent to me. So, and while we're talking about Twitter, I actually posted a picture of the outside of a building that was labeled Powdercoating, and that is related to me dropping off Loki, which is my new server I've been working on for a little bit now, waiting on parts and things to get released. But I dropped that off after a long day's worth of prep in order to prep it for a paint job, dropped it off to get powder coated. And I'm talking just full blown powder coat. So I'm going full legit. I was a little hesitant because doing some research, I was kind of worried about thickness and I was worried about a few things. So I was going to explore just spray painting the thing. But after prepping it and then testing out the spray paint on another thing, I actually just realized I'm not a spray painter, nor do I want to do this, which is why I wanted to do powder coating in the first place. So I'm just kind of hoping for the best. If it doesn't work out or some things don't fit, I do have a Dremel and it has a little brush attachment thing to it. So, if I have to Dremel some powder coating off, I will. Hopefully I won't have to do that, but it is definitely a thing. They said 7 to 10 days before that gets back, so I'm definitely excited to see what my new server's Loki is going to look like with a full powder coat paint job. Now, before I jump into the questions, as always, the Jason Bytes Back series are dedicated to my awesome Patreon subscribers, guys. Thank you for being Patreon subscribers. I appreciate you, and your names will, as always, be listed at the end of this video. So thank you, and thank you. Okay, so question number 1 is from Al. Off topic, smiley face. Need new video about Shield Pro 2019 as a Plex server with very high bitrate transcoding files, both x.264 and x.265. Thanks. Well, Al, I agree. And I really actually do want to test out the Shield Pro. I've been waiting for a new Shield for a while. I'm going to get one to replace my Xbox, but I blame these for me not having one right now because the sell for the drives kind of came at a bad time for the Shield release. So, give me a little bit. I'm going to get one eventually for sure. It's just a matter of waiting a little bit. And, who knows? I might even reach out to NVIDIA and just say like, hey, I'm a supporter of your product. Would you like to pass me a free one to test and review? Pretty please, NVIDIA, if you're hearing this, I'm cool. And the next question is from Cuba Crazy Productions. Can somebody tell me what OS is that? I love the interface. And this was on a video titled My Unraid Server. So, Cuba Crazy, that OS or operating system, for those who don't know, is Unraid. And I agree, I actually love Unraid myself, and there's a few pros and cons to Unraid, but for me it's the most bang for your buck in terms of hard drive storage that you get while still gaining some parity, so that's why I choose Unraid over something like FreeNAS or anything else. But yeah, the operating system is Unraid. Next question is, Don Smith might want to rethink that Nord sponsorship since they were hacked. I included this question because this has been a topic and something that people have asked me about repeatedly on Twitter and Discord, and like, Jason, what are you gonna do? The NordVPN house is burning down. They were hacked. You're gonna abandon them, and et cetera, and so forth. And my answer up until right now was I'm basically gonna wait. And that was just kind of one of those things like, you know what? I'm gonna let whatever details that need to come out about the whole thing that came out with NordVPN and them getting hacked. I'm going to just kind of bide my time and just see what happens and then make a decision moving forward. When it comes to my channel, yes, I do have an affiliate program through NordVPN. I have run ads, I've done videos. In fact, up until that thing came out, I was actually working on a new NordVPN project video thing that was with Unraid and some other stuff. And I've kind of put that on hold, just pending all of this stuff being worked out. But something I wanted to clarify with this is that even though I do have an affiliate link with NordVPN, I probably at bare minimum get at least 2 offers a week, which I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but still to me, it's just a repetitive thing. 2 offers a week via email to become an affiliate of another VPN service. Some of these VPN services I look a little bit into, and I sometimes consider them, but most of the time I just ignore them. So if I wanted to, abandon NordVPN and pick up a new affiliate, really technically speaking, I could probably make more money switching to another service. But, I mean, really the whole NordVPN thing, when I look into the story and what actually happened, I mean, their reaction to it was really bad, but overall the hack wasn't really that big of a deal. I mean, it was just one server, and they were mimicking the server, and it was only if someone connected to the wrong server or something. It was one of those things that was blown out of proportion, mainly because of how they handled the situation after the fact. But I have heard that NordVPN is actually going to post some sort of like a bug bounty program to allow people to find any kind of flaws in their service and get paid for it. So they are actively trying to repair their image and do hopefully what they can do to get back to where they were before. So I'm just going to continue to have a soft affiliate with them. Not going to run any ads probably for a month or two, and just kind of see, see how it pans out in the long run. And maybe I'm researching alternatives along that path, and just to see if I like another company that I could get behind and actually, share with my subscribers. But so far I like NordVPN, so, who knows? Next question is from Paul. Pro tip, Jason, air gaps dude. Okay, that sounds painful. I mean, an air gapping a dude, that really does sound kind of painful. Do not go for the Tetris look here. You need air between components, especially things like switches. I'm gonna be honest with you, Paul, I have no real world experience with servers aside from what I've been doing in my basement. So you may or may not be right. However, I think when I look at other home labs and other server setups and data center stuff like that, they usually put stuff pretty close to each other. And they have a lot of stuff, working side by side. Yes, those data centers have a lot better ventilation than I do and a lot better active cooling than I do. But, I mean, I just don't see where having a gap between something would really drastically change the temperature of my switch or my server. I could see it possibly affecting it a little bit, but I don't know. I guess I'll leave this up to the community. I mean, I don't have really great ventilation or active cooling or like dedicated air conditioning for my server room. It's just in my basement, which is the coldest part of my house. So it usually doesn't go over like, I don't know, 40 to 50 C on my main server. I don't know what the switches go, but I'm definitely open to any suggestions from the community. Leave them in the comments down below, but just know that I bought a 25U rack to compress all of my stuff. So spacing it out, I don't know. Either way, I am kind of interested to see what the community thinks about that statement. Next question is from Bean Counting. I'm glad I was able to watch you rack for the first time. It was both beautiful and awkward. Yes, it was. It was beautiful and awkward to make it as well. Well, Bean, I just want to say thank you for watching my channel, and that video pretty much defines my channel because it shows me jumping into something, not necessarily knowing 100% of what I'm doing, but still trying and showing my failures and problems and things that I did wrong along the way and broadcasting it for the internet to see so everyone can make fun of me for it. That's pretty much what I do, and I'm okay with that. I learn from all of it, and believe it or not, when people comment, it even helps too, just like the whole air gap thing. I didn't really think that was a thing before, but I'm excited to see what other people have to say about it because it's all a learning experience to me, and I'm just here sharing my adventure with you. Next question is from Justin. You should just buy solar and batteries from Tesla. My wife and I did it, and our power bill is now minus $68 per month, and my server is handbraking 95% of the time. Wow, I could understand if you're running a batch of handbrake stuff, but I mean 95% of the time. I mean, how long has it been like that? Wow. And yes, I would love to have a solar wall and solar panels on top of my house, but yeah, that's like $45,000, and to do all that and save $70 per month, or let's say best case scenario, I save $200 per month. I don't know. I'd say right now, especially being in Kansas with all the hailstorms and stuff, I'm just gonna have to put that on hold. But I will say this, I do know somebody on Discord who has a solar wall and solar panels and absolutely loves it, and power goes down, which happens often in his area, it always kicks in, saves him, and is drastically reducing his power bill as well. So, this is not an uncommon story when it comes to a Tesla related stuff, but it's really about those Benjamins. I mean, 45 grand. That's kind of cray-cray. Next question is from Galen. Where did you get your server from? Well, Galen, if you've seen any of the build videos, which I don't know if you have, but if you've seen any of the build videos, I do try to link a link to the eBay listing where I bought the servers from. So to answer your question, it's always from eBay. That's kind of where I go. Pretty much when you want to get, super advanced servers or pre-built old recycled enterprise stuff for way cheaper than what you would like buying them brand new or from other sources, eBay is just kind of the way to go. The only problem with the eBay link is that they're not always available. The link will expire. Usually I try to put the model number in there, which I will with Loki and I have with Zeus, just so people can search for it themselves. But nowadays it's pretty much just eBay. And if you are shopping on eBay, a little pro tip here, if you find a server that almost fits your needs, like maybe it doesn't have enough RAM or, too few of this, too much of that, whatever, most of the time you can contact that seller. This is something that they do all the time, and you can configure, that server to meet your needs. For example, with Zeus, I contacted the eBay server. I said, hey man, this thing has like 32 gigs of RAM. I really want 128, but I don't need any of the hard drives that you included in this. So can you take out all the hard drives and add more RAM and give me a price? Thanks. And he did, and I bought it. Next question is from, okay, it's not a question. I entered this in because I wanted to read it off because it made me laugh, and I actually did what. Anyways, from Paul, couldn't stop laughing at the 21-minute mark. If you closed your eyes and listened, it sounded like you were getting it on with your rack. Is it in? Will it fit? Pure PC porn stuff. Sad thing is when I was editing this, kind of in a hurry, trying to get the video done and edited, I kind of sort of noticed it a little bit, but it wasn't until I actually went back and rewatched it and kind of closed my eyes, and I was like, wow, that is a little provocative. And the best follow-up is, and if you look at it, clearly it shows a grown man humping a server, and with no foreplay, plus no lube or protection. Such a romantic. Wait, how dare you call me a grown man? Next question is from Andrew. Why don't you just do it right and install a chase with the pull string? Now he's talking about wiring in my house, and Andrew, I have done it right and installed pull strings. In fact, I've used that to install the 5 or 6 lines that I have running up to my attic right now, all the way down to my server room, it's actually kind of a long pull. But running the string did make everything way easier than what it would be to just run it one section at a time and then climb up and down. And yeah, a pull string definitely made it a lot easier. However, when you tie off a pull string and let's say you're using duct tape or whatever other method, I used a few different ones, and you're by yourself and you're pulling, and then it gets snagged on something, and then you go downstairs, and then you go all the way from the attic down to the basement, and you go and you mess with it, and you realize it was just some weird little notch or something that it just got wedged into, and then you just pull it out, and then you guide it on, and then you go back up. I mean, it's just this repetitive process when you're doing it by yourself that just makes running wires all the way from your basement to your attic, however long of a run it is, just way too frustrating. So that's why I went with putting a switch in the attic. I figured, it should survive for a while, and when it dies, I got the switch for free. So what's the worst that could happen? Next question is from Michael Arnold. Why did you buy a server when all you do it replacing things? Sounds dumb to me. Basically what he's asking is, why would I buy a server from eBay, which I just recently did along with the previous server before this, but this newest server I am ripping out all of the guts that came with it, like basically everything but metal and the power supplies, and I'm replacing it with all new hardware. So why would I buy a server that has all this stuff that I actually don't want to use as a server? And really the simplest answer here is because it's cheap. I just wanted the case and the power supplies. If I were to go out and actively find somebody who's selling something that holds, let's say 48 drives and has power supplies and, very focused on just the one thing I want out of that entire build, it's gonna cost me more. I mean, you get basically that fee of these people finding these cases and cleaning it out and prepping it just to sell as only a case. I mean, the whole home lab user where they want to buy these huge servers to put in people's basement is kind of a rare thing. So as a whole, I would imagine most people that buy this are just small or struggling businesses who still need a server solution but can't afford the big, brand new server cost. So buying the case and all the stuff that came with it, just buy it, get it at a discount because they're selling them, by the bulk, and I just rip the guts out. It saves money, and well, that's pretty much it. It saves money. Next question is from Marcus. He said, Fruit Loops or Fruity Pebbles? I gotta be honest with you, I think Fruity Pebbles is a hands down winner. I mean, the way the Fruity Pebbles just melt in your mouth when you're eating them, it's so delicious. And the mix of flavors, it's just great. Just Fruity Pebbles all day. I say mix of flavors, it's probably all the same flavor, just, dyed differently, but whatever. Next question is from Sean. Can I appear in Jason Bytes Back episode number 30? Sean, absolutely not. I do not have time to read off your question. I will not put you in episode number 30 of Jason Bytes Back. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. Bye. Well, that's it for today, guys. As always, all my awesome Patreon subscribers are going to be listed at the end of this video. So again, guys, thank you for being Patreon subscribers. Thank you to the rest of my viewers for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and you want the highest possible chance of it being answered for Jason Bytes Back episode number 31, post them down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, like, and subscribe, and have yourself a great day. The thing about these boxes, right, and this irks some people. It just drives them mad. The thing about these boxes is that they all have power supplies, right? And this one doesn't have it in it because I throw those away. But they all have power supplies, and then of course, when you shuck the drive, there's a USB adapter that comes with all of them, and I just throw them away. But something I want to tell everyone, because they keep hitting me up, and they're like, dude, you could use these, and you probably could. I'm not saying you can't, but I've tried the adapter with multiple different hard drives that are just not the exact one that was taken out, and it wasn't recognized. Granted, it was only with Western Digital, like a 4 terabyte drive, and then there was a laptop drive I tried, a couple different size laptop drives that I tried. I couldn't get it to recognize any other drives besides the ones that came with it. But with that said, I mean, all these USB 3.0 cables, I got a box of these things. So I'm finally throwing these away. And these, I got a few of these too. I was saving them. They're 12 volt, 1 amp, I think, something like that. I'm like, surely that'll be used in some kind of a project, right? No. I've only used one once and I put it back. This is how hoarders just, you know, have too much stuff because they're like, you know what? One day, 30 years from now, that'll be useful.